Required, but it's this preferred method to mount the weapon system as you see here. Their legs on the outside of the tripod, bottom of the knees on the tripod. You can take a knee, you can do it sitting down, it's up to you. If you're shorter, probably a knee would be better. However, this is preferred method because you can control the weapon and get more momentum for charging the weapon system. You'll note that the weapon system is on fire and on fully automatic. That's how the weapon system will be when you approach it. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and go clear. Alright, so I'm going to hand you guys a link belt caliber 50 machine gun ammunition. I'm going to tell you if your hands are on the weapon system to kindly remove your hands from the weapon system. I'm going to show you my clock. My clock will read 0, and as soon as you touch the weapon system until your time begins. So, go ahead and clear a caliber 50 machine gun. The very first step is place the weapon on safe. Then you're going to put on single shot. You're going to lift the feed tray cover. You're going to lift the extract. You're going to sweep, lift the extractor paw, drop the extractor paw, and close the feed tray cover. You're going to pull the bolt to the rear. You're going to open the feed tray cover. You're going to examine the chamber and the T-slot. The T-slot is where the base of the round and the face of the bolt meet. You're going to ride the bolt forward. You're going to close the feed tray cover. You're going to test the trigger. That concludes your clearing a caliber 50 machine gun. Now you're going to go to loading caliber 50 machine gun. You will put the weapon system on fully auto. You will open the feed tray cover. You will insert your rounds. One link round, double looped end, flush with the extractor paw. You will close the feed tray cover. You will pull the bolt to the rear and release it. And do it one more time. Your weapon is now chambered and ready to fire. We're going to go ahead and go and fire and correct the malfunction. Place the weapon system on fire. Push the trigger. Bang, bang, malfunction. You will pull the bolt to the rear. You will lean to one side. You will observe the round ejecting. You will release the bolt. You will continue firing. Bang, bang. Rounds complete. You will place the weapon on safe. That concludes the loading, or correction, the firing and the correcting malfunction. Now you guys will go to the unloading and clearing process of the weapon system. Place the weapon system on single shot. Lift the feed tray cover. Sweep. Lift the extractor paw. Place the extractor paw down. Close the feed tray cover. Pull the bolt to the rear. Lift the feed tray cover. Inspect the chamber and the T-slot. Ride the bolt forward. Close the feed tray cover. Press the trigger. That is the entire test, gentlemen. You guys have any questions on that? Alright, the do's and the don'ts. Some things I've been getting people. When you guys go to clear, you're going to go ahead and sweep. When you guys sweep, you're going to leave the extractor paw up and you're going to try to close the feed tray cover. If you do so, that is a no-go. You guys are going to pull the bolt to the rear. And you're going to let go of the charging handle, or for some reason you want to push the charging handle forward. If the charging handle goes more than halfway forward, that is a no-go. Charging handle has to stay to the rear. You can let go of it, or you can just hold it to the rear. That is up to you. You guys are going to ride the bolt forward. You're going to press the trigger instead of the actual bolt release. If you press the trigger while trying to ride the bolt forward, that is a no-go. You have to use a bolt release. The trigger is a U-shaped horseshoe button that goes around the bolt release. The bolt release is the center button that has grooves on it. All right, and a little bit of friction on it. You guys, when you ride the bolt forward, sometimes you only go to half cock. If you go to half cock, you try to close the feed tray cover, that is a no-go. If you do go to half cock, make sure you just smack the bottom of the bolt. In order to prevent that, when you guys ride the bolt forward, ride it halfway and let go of it, or ride all the way forward and ensure that you get a good jam at the end of it, and then close the feed tray cover. Your bolt ride and feed tray. If your bolt is to the front, your feed tray cover will be closed prior to pulling the bolt to the rear. If the bolt is to the rear and your feed tray cover is open, you will ride the bolt forward before closing the feed tray cover. Understood? Some of the things that are going to help you guys make the time hack, all right? When you guys do your sweeping process, sweep down, let the feeder paw, or extractor paw, drop the extractor paw, close the feed tray cover. Nice and quick. The quicker you guys can do that, the better off. You're trying to save time. You only have 30 seconds. Your auto catch manipulation, you guys are going for fully auto to single shot. Some people, for some reason, like to rotate that 360 degrees. Only rotate it as far as you need to